Just before this video starts, I do want to promote the Discord server. Join if you want to, suggest new video ideas, or just come hang out and chat. And if you like what you see here today, you like pretty much everything else on my channel, so why not subscribe? Thanks. Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are going to be talking about an update to the Johnny Somali situation, which I covered a couple of months ago. Now, last time we took a look at Johnny himself, he was set to stand trial in Korea for all of the crimes that they were alleging against him, and I say alleging as if it's not an actual fact, like there's not videotape evidence of him doing all this stuff. And for those of you who don't know and might need a refresher, Johnny Somali is a streamer or an ex-streamer who used to go on the platform Kick to live stream to a couple thousand people, maybe a couple of hundred. And he became pretty infamous within the streaming community and honestly on social media at large, because what he would do is go over to foreign countries like Japan or Korea. I think he went to Israel too, and he just started fucking with people. He started messing with people, cursing them out, being a public disturbance. And even recently in Korea, before he apologized for this, he would go to one of the statues that was erected for the women who were sexually mistreated and abused during World War II in Korea. I forget exactly what the statue's name is, but we do go over it in the last video that we made about him. But essentially what he would be doing was going to the statues, taking his clothes off, rubbing oil on his chest, and just twerking all over the statues. It sounds insane, but honestly, you really can't make this up. And of course, he would record all this stuff and post it to the internet, thinking that nothing would happen, but little did he know that the Korean public were actually watching him, and actually he appeared on the news stations that were in Korea. People were warned about this guy going around terrorizing the public, and a couple of streamers decided to take matters into their own hands and ended up beating up Johnny Somali and his camp. I say camp like he has like an entire crew. It was really just one other guy, but they would do things like lay hands on him, follow him around on his streams. And they would also do some things like call him slurs, which for the most part, I'm not mad at. I'm really not. I don't even think I could say that I was like 100% mad at it or anything of the sort, because quite literally he deserved it. He deserved that and more. However, his court date, like I said before, was scheduled to be for March, and it's going to happen later on. But for right now, if I remember correctly, he's not able to leave the country of South Korea. And very recently, he recorded a very incriminating video, something that's so stupid on his part, but honestly for us, we couldn't have been happier. And in this video, he basically threatens Japan, saying that him, Ice Poseidon, and a whole bunch of IRL Kick streamers are going to go ruin Japan. Just take a look at this for yourself.
Hello to the people of Japan and the people of the world. I want to make this message because I've been gone for a long time. Let me introduce myself if you don't know me already. I am Johnny Somali. I am part of the criminal nuisance live streamer gang called CX. I am a high-ranking member in the black sheep of the family. We are ran by our top leader, Ice Poseidon. He's the leader of CX, and Miskiff, the leader of OTK. We are part of a live streaming international criminal mafia of nuisance streamers that have came to Japan to bring you freedom, to bring you American values. You weak Japs will never stop us. You will never stop CX. You will never stop Johnny Somali. You will never stop Ice Poseidon, Paul Danino, who was my mentor, my teacher, my leader. If it was not for Ice Poseidon, I would have never came to Japan. And if you try to arrest Ice Poseidon, if you try to stop Paul Danino or any of our group, if you try to stop ABZ Abdullah, the terrorist, the one that paid for all of our kick deals and steak deals, if you try to stop ABZ Abdullah, this fat fuck, I promise you I'll be back in Japan soon. You'll never stop Kang Joel. You'll never stop Hugh Sama, Showtime, and all these fucking leeches. We will destroy Japan, and I promise you, if you arrest any of them, if you stop any of them, if you attack any of them, I will come back to Japan and I will bring back vengeance. Remember how there was 2 atomic bombs? Remember how there was Hiroshima and Nagasaki? I was the little boy. CX is the fat man. They came to bring revenge for locking me up falsely and locking up Louis X. Fuck Japan. It's fucking CX till I fucking die. You dumbass motherfuckers. Fuck Japan. Suck our dick, cocksuckers. Us streamers, we run your fucking country. CX in the motherfucking chat. And make sure you take out Miskiff. This is the leader of OTK. This is the top general. These are the 2 top leaders. This is the CX vice president and the president right here. You need to get Miskiff and you need to get Paul Danino, Ice Poseidon. Nigga, CX in the motherfucking chat. I love you, Paul Danino. You're my mentor, my leader, everything. Sayonara.
Now, after having watched that video, I hope you can already understand why this was so stupid on his part. I say this because he's already gotten away with messing with the Japanese citizens once when he was over there the last time. Now, if he gets let go from Korea and goes over there, and let's say he just sticks to his word and starts causing a ruckus with a bunch of other people, as soon as the cops and authorities get their hands on this guy, he's not escaping that time at all, especially because Asian countries usually have a very high conviction rate, or at the very least Japan and China do. South Korea does too, it's just not as high as Japan or China's conviction rate. I believe theirs are about 99% or 95, I'm pretty sure, whereas Korea's is like 86. Still very high, but that's just if the authorities get their hands on him first, right? We already know that due to other instances where live streamers have gone over to Japan or other countries, there has been a ban list, or a hit list actually, of streamers that are being passed around in flyers. Here's a picture of it on screen right now, where rightfully so, the people of that country, primarily in Japan, are starting to fight back. like they're tired of this stuff, okay? Let me read you something else from Deserto. Kick streamer Ice Poseidon found himself on a wanted list of nuisance broadcasters created by Japanese citizens during his stay in the country. Ice Poseidon's trip through Japan has drawn comparisons to Johnny Somali, who was famously persecuted and charged for obstructing Japanese businesses during one of his broadcasts, on top of getting pummeled by angry locals for his inflammatory comments. Somali is currently awaiting trial in South Korea, but he's promised to return to Japan, continuing his chaotic streams. However, Japanese citizens are attempting to prevent this ahead of time. As seen by fellow streamer Ice Poseidon in February 2025, Somali is on a list of wanted content creators that includes names like ABZ, Slightly Homeless, and even Ice Poseidon himself. Now, just like in many circumstances where there are one or a couple of people making a bad name or giving a bad rep to the thing that they're doing, it only really takes a couple of bad people to ruin it for the rest of the people who are involved, aka the other IRL streamers who aren't really just going outside and going to other countries and becoming a nuisance. Rather, they're just doing things like exploring the country, filming themselves, having a good time. Now, there are two more points I do want to touch on before we go. The first one being the fact that this isn't happening in America, right? This isn't happening anywhere near where most of the viewers who are watching this right now live. They're primarily going to countries that they think are soft or have a reputation for being very polite and not really aggressive. Because I can guarantee you, Johnny Somali in particular, or even just someone like Jack Doherty, or maybe even Neon when he was doing his whole shenanigans on live streams. I don't know what the hell he's doing right now. He seemingly has stayed out of the news, but had he gone to somewhere like New York, Chicago, or Atlanta and done something like that, cursed out a old lady in a bodega somewhere, or started just causing trouble for random people, I can guarantee you right now, this second, he would not be alive at all. I can also say that it probably wouldn't even be a gangster or something like that. It would most probably be a regular person who isn't gang affiliated at all. Someone who just might have had a hard day at work and doesn't want to be fucked with. Now, like I said before, they'll go to these like polite countries where they're not really known for doing things like having guns, right? But the bad part about this whole thing is that if you ever notice, right, on streams, especially ones that, you know, are taking place in real time, IRL streams, you would have to show your audience something that's increasingly better than what you did before in order to keep them entertained or to draw in more viewers, right? It's just the life of that type of content, and it's just how things are. The thing is, with the stuff that people put out like Johnny Somali or Ice Poseidon or any of these other wanted streamers, they'll have to do the same thing, but then that also means that they're going to have to fuck with more people, not only putting themselves at risk, but also putting others at risk. Because if somebody else decides to jump in because they recognize what's going on, you could end up in an entire street brawl, okay? Which could lead to other people getting hurt or even dying. But the funny thing is that they're doing all this for nothing. They could just be normal people. Go get good at a video game and stream that. Do something else productive with your life, bro. You have your entire life ahead of you, because most of these guys are like in their 30s or in their mid to late 20s doing all this. And, you know, you could become incarcerated in an Asian prison, which I don't even know how those prisons are, right? I assume that they're, you know, up to par, much better than an American prison, I'd assume. But you could lose multiple years of your life in jail for something like this just because you want a couple of extra views. And then you also won't go on Twitch with any of this because you know you'll get banned and because you know nobody will watch. It's usually just these kick streamers that go around and make this bad name for the platform, which has already been riddled with gambling, pedophilia, and all this other stuff, right? There's like an entire situation on it. But these type of guys don't do any favors for anyone, okay? They don't even do favors for themselves. And the last thing I want to touch on is the fact that now when any other black person goes to Japan, you know, God forbid, they get mistaken for some live streamer that the Korean government or that the Japanese government has made the public aware of, and they get targeted as well. I'm not gonna lie, right? When I say this, and you know, I say this as a black man myself, and I say this as somebody who has seen the public opinion very much on our own culture and stuff that we do, we already don't got the best rep, okay? I'm gonna be honest right there. Public opinion on black people isn't good. The worldview of black people as a whole probably isn't any better, especially when you go over to a homogenous country like Japan or China, countries where locals don't really have that many experiences with black people from day to day. So what they see online or what they see on the news might genuinely be their only experience with somebody who isn't the same race as them for a while. And it really hurts my heart to say this, and I truly do mean this, by the way, that when some random black guy wants to go to Japan, he might have to worry about being mistaken for Johnny Somali. You know what I'm saying? So with this whole, it only takes a couple of people to ruin it for the rest, that goes twofold. Okay. It not only goes for the streamers, the IRL streamers that want to go down there and do their thing, but it also goes for the black people that want to go down there and do their thing, or the people that look like those people on the wanted list and just happen to have cameras on them. They're going to get mistaken for these other guys, and it's going to be bad. Okay. We've already seen what will happen if one of these streamers are caught by somebody who knows about the wanted list. Case in point, this streamer right here. That was a video of him getting beat up, by the way, by some guy that was following him after he and his friends made supposedly inappropriate comments at a bar at a woman. So, I mean, on one hand, I truly do feel for the people who will go down there, maybe get mistaken for somebody who was down there before them and caused ruckus. But on the other hand, hopefully this will deter those IRL live streamers from not only going back there, but also trying something like this in the future. Anyways, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button. If you want more content similar to this, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.